Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is the newest Indiana Jones film in this franchise. I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on it. Smash your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you guys all think of the fifth Indiana Jones? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down there. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And let's talk about the newest Indiana Jones right now. Okay, so Indiana Jones 5, or The Dial of Destiny, is now out on the big screen for everyone to go and check out. Now, I hadn't watched the previous Indiana Jones, but I've gone through the last month and watched all four of them, and I've come to love this franchise. I've come to love the character of Indiana Jones, which made me super excited for this fifth installment. I was like, cool, this is going to be absolutely fun. Why not? Now, coming into Dial of Destiny, trailers didn't wow me or anything like that. I was kind of like, okay, I guess we're making a fifth one. I know some people didn't want a fifth one, but I mean, obviously Harrison Ford is very, very much a lot older than he used to be. So how are they going to do all this? Dial of Destiny for me, it just didn't work on the level of the other ones. It just didn't. And there are multiple reasons why this one is not up there as one of my favorites. This is probably my least favorite in the franchise so far. There's reasons to that. Firstly, the CGI in this movie is absolutely awful. It really is. This makes the Crystal Skull and Temple of Doom and Last Crusade and everything like that look 10 times better. The de-aging that they did in here with Harrison Ford, it felt like I was watching a game cutscene. It really did. It felt like it was a PlayStation or an Xbox cutscene with a character from there. It was very cartoon-esque, and you could tell that. Like, it wasn't like, oh, there was like little moments here and there. It was the whole entire time that the de-aging was happening. You could tell that it was fake, and it looked like you were watching one of those cutscenes. That's really what it was. And that really took me out. And that's the whole first part. The first, like, initial introduction to this movie is a flashback. And using that DH technology, it just did not work at all. And, like, when he's talking and that, when you've got the surroundings as, like, a realistic sort of vibe, and then you've got that, it's very noticeable. And it just did not work. Then there's other shots that you can tell are green screen, that you can tell aren't real, and it really takes you right out of this movie. It really does, and it's frustrating because we have movies like Avatar that look absolutely incredible with the CG, that looks so realistic, and then you've got this, and it doesn't work. It's very annoying. It really is. Now, again, we know Harrison Ford is quite old these days. He's not what he used to be back in the 80s and 90s. So for me to be able to believe that he is going around and running around doing all these jumping stunts, climbing, everything like that, it's a bit hard to believe. But hey, I'll let it slide. Obviously, it's Harrison Ford. He's good in everything he does. I mean, it's a nice send off for Indy. It really is. The ending, they give you closure to certain things that happen in Indy's life in between Crystal Skull and this one. They give you some closure to all that, and the ending is nice. I enjoyed the ending. I was like, yep, cool, that works. No more Indiana Jones. Like, that's it. He's done. His story is done. Move on. Now, we know in Crystal Skull he had his son, and then we know Shorty was in Temple of Doom, and his father was in the other one. So this time they bring in his goddaughter, and there's a whole thing surrounding that, and I mean, she was fine. Like, the actress was great. She played that role really well. It was fine. Like, I didn't feel like the connection that I had with Indy and Shorty. It just didn't have that sort of vibe. They tried to do that in this movie. There are moments where you think that they're trying to have a character like Shorty in here, that it didn't bring that same vibe. That didn't work for me. And then that dynamic between the godfather and the goddaughter, I just felt like wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. So that was a bit of a letdown as well. The villains. I mean, I've got to give it to the villains. The villains are great. I do like the villains in this movie, and I thought they gave him a nice backstory. And obviously, Mads Mikkelsen is just absolutely fantastic as a villain. He is so good, and I understand his motive. So the strongest part of this movie is the villains themselves and why they want the Dial of Destiny. What are their plans with that? And the whole idea surrounding it is a cool concept as well that I really enjoyed. Like the concept of the Dial of Destiny with the villains was an actually very very awesome, and I really enjoyed that aspect, and I loved going on that adventure to discover what this thing can do. And that was probably another part of the film that I did enjoy, was that moment when they're explaining it, they're diving into the lore of it, and then we find out what it does, and then everything like that happens. That worked really really well for me. But then again, there's other things in here that just, this one is very much like Crystal Skull and Temple of Doom. There are things that I've really enjoyed in this movie, like the Dial of Destiny for itself, as an artifact and what it can do. You know, the adventure stuff and the villains. And then there's, on the flip side, things that just did not work for me, and then I was kind of like, oh, really? We're going to go down there? You know, but look, Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, it's a decent movie. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's awful or anything like that. I'd watch it again, yes. Like I said, there are things that take me out of the movie, but then there are things that I really enjoyed and I was really into. Like, there's this awesome chase sequence in here as well that worked really, really well for me. Indiana Jones is known for its chase sequences and how fun they are. There is one in here that is in particularly very fun that I really enjoyed, and that's through one of the cities in here, and that was awesome. That to me worked really, really well. But I just felt like there were things missing that just, I think after Raiders and the Last Crusade, I just feel like they just haven't quite got the formula right where they've mixed everything and it makes it flow and it goes into one big story and it works. I just feel like they're missing that. The music obviously is great, as it always is. I thought that was great. But now I feel like, look, let's just retire Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. We don't need another one of him. This concludes it perfectly. If they want to do another Indiana Jones, they're going to have to restart it, reboot the whole thing, and start again. Get a younger Indy in and tell fresh stories. Do it that way. That's the only way that you can't carry on from here. But overall, look, I wouldn't say it's the worst movie. I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie. Like I said, I'm kind of mixed on it. There's things I love, things that I hate, things that work, things that didn't work. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you guys all think of the Dial of Destiny? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down in that comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.